Hey everyone, this is GFrom and welcome to Month of Naughty Dog. 3 games made by some naughty dogs, starting with Crash Bandicoot for the PS1. I hope you enjoy.
We have not determined the cause of past failures.
Dr.Neo Cortex and his henchman Dr. Brio created a machine called the Evolve Array. With this machine they can evolve animals into beasts with superhuman strength. Crash is one of these animals, but he turns out to be unworthy, so Cortex chases him out of the window of the castle, causing him to fall into the ocean. Cortex now prepares a female Bandicoot called Tawna for experimentation. With the help of Aku Aku, the spirit of an ancient witch doctor, Crash sets out to rescue Tawna and prevent Cortex from taking over the world. Crash Bandicoot is a 3D platformer. The levels are like the platformers of the 2D generation, which means that you don't run around in an open world, but walk a linear path. Crash can walk, jump and perform a spin attack. There are 3 islands that act as your level select screen. You have to travel through 26 levels and defeat 6 bosses. The goal of course is to get to the end of the level. On your way you have to break boxes. Not only do they give you Wumpa fruit, which looks like apples that give you extra life if you collect 100 of them, but if you break every box in the level, you'll be rewarded with a gem, of which there are 20 in silver and 6 colorful. Getting all gems gives you an alternate ending, but back to the boxes. In these boxes you also find extra lives and Aku Aku masks that protect you. If you get hit by an enemy, the mask disappears. In case you get 3 masks, you're invincible for a brief moment. Some boxes are like trampolines, and the ones with exclamation marks make invisible boxes not invisible. Then there are pictures of Tawna, Brio and Cortex. 3 of one kind lead you into a bonus stage. The Tawna levels are important because if you make it to the end, this is the only way to save or get a password. Well, that's not quite true. If you collect a gem, you also can save. The Brio levels give you nothing except lives. There are only 2 Cortex levels. In these you can find a key that opens a door to a secret level. There are some evil boxes as well. The TNT boxes explode when you attack them, or give you 3 seconds to run away if you jump on it. Last but not least there are checkpoint boxes, but I think you know what they do. Your journey begins in the jungle, leads through temples and lost cities and ends in Cortex Castle full with labs and stuff. There are quite a few different level designs used in this game, but almost every level design is used more than once, which can be a bit repetitive. Many levels are played in the 2.5D style, and I hate almost every one of them. The first half of the game looks very dull to me, but I like the last few stages with the overall darker atmosphere. My favorite level has to be the one called Toxic Waste, where these mafia dogs throw barrels at you. Speaking of enemies, many of them have no personality, with few exceptions like this confused little monkey. Crash is well animated and kind of funny to look at, but I feel that his movements aren't as fluid as they could be. But the bosses are characters you remember, and every one of them makes a return in the series at some point. My favorite being Pinstripe, with this awesome machine gun. Don't mess with the mafia, dog! The sound effects are pretty good, and although Crash can't talk, he makes some noises here and there. The music, however, is a real letdown to me. Sure, the title music is good, but most of the tracks are very simplistic and stay in the background. Sometimes that's a good thing, but here it kills the experience for me, because simple bongo jungle music is just boring. The music from The Lost City is a pain to listen to. Ugh. The tracks I probably like the most are the boss tracks. Every boss has his own track, so that's kinda cool. But even those tracks can save the soundtrack from being disappointment. After making a game called Way of the Warrior for the 3DO, the 2 people from Naughty Dog, Andy Gavin and Jason Rubin, decided to create a 3D action platform game. Because the player would be forced to look at the character's butt constantly, the game was jokingly codenamed Sonic's Ass Game. First the character was going to be called Willy the Wombat, but thankfully that was changed to Crash Bandicoot. The game was released in late 1996 and received generally favorable reviews. As of November 2003, the game has sold 6.8 million copies, making it one of the best-selling PlayStation games of all time. Are you lazy? I know you are. So here's a password that gives you everything. Every level, all of the gems, and both keys. Here it is. Pause the video or whatever, I'm not going to read it for you. Ready? Good, have fun. Surprisingly, I have quite a few issues with this game. My main criticism is the music, which like I said is really flat and boring to listen to. The 2.5D levels are not fun to play at all. They are challenging, yes, but I find them more annoying than anything else. The Lost City is really boring to play, as well as the tempo levels and the bridge. The bridge gave me nightmares as a kid, I hated it so much. And while we're at it, this game is actually kind of hard. I mean, now I did beat it in like 2 hours without collecting the gems, but back then it was so hard at times that I didn't want to play it at all anymore, thanks to this stupid trial and error shit. The controls aren't perfect either. They are good, but sometimes it's hard to make a certain jump, also because you can't tell the distance at times. The environments look stale to me, and I didn't enjoy most of the level designs. And I hate the fact that you can't fall off the bonus stages if you push up or down. That's stupid. You must think by now that I hate this game. I really don't. I enjoyed many levels, especially the later ones. I loved the bosses, and although the Cortex battle wasn't the best, the fight against Brio was the highlight of the game for me, next to the levels where you ride a hog. These two stages are really fast paced and fun to play. Running away from the giant boulder into the screen was pretty unique, and it worked perfectly. The way Crash dies can be very funny. There are quite a few different animations for that matter. Most of the time the controls are very responsive, making these hard platforming parts a little less frustrating than it could be. I like the fact that this game is linear, because it makes the gameplay feel faster. And if you're not in one of those really boring levels, this game can be really fun to play. This is one of those games where I don't know where to put it. On one hand, I don't like this game in many ways. The music, many level designs and some control issues make me wish to do something else. On the other hand, the game is quite fun, has good boss battles, a funny character to play as, and some levels are very unique in a good way. I played this game a lot back then, but for some reasons I don't have any nostalgic feelings for the first Crash Bandicoot. It also hasn't aged as well as it could have. In the end, it's up to you whether you get this game or not. Chances are you are going to like it. It's a good game, but for some reasons I don't like it that much. I recommend this game to everyone who likes platformers and old school PlayStation games. But be warned, you may get the same feeling while playing that I had. Thanks for watching everybody, and remember, this is just my opinion. Feel free to rate, comment and subscribe. Next up on Month of Naughty Dog, 3 games made by some naughty dogs, is Jak and Daxter for the PlayStation 2. I'll see you later, have a nice day. Ah!